Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and apparently in China there is some kind of economic issues. There's some economic slump that I personally am not aware of because I'm not obsessed with China. But it was mentioned during DPA Open Mic. Someone in the comments actually said that this is actually the biggest news, and I actually went to look at it and read it and realized that yeah, there is something to it. So China central bank basically has released a series of measures and changes to try to boost its economy, and this is it is the fact that this is actually done in a rare press conference, as mentioned by CNBC, that shows that something is getting a bit serious in China, and of course, in the very vague and conspiracical and maybe sense, very vague sense, there is always this feeling that something is wrong with China somewhere, in terms of its economy. But somehow the numbers always look super good. And the fact that there is an economic slump, and yet it was not exactly clear because China also seems to be doing very well at the same time is very, very odd. And somehow the fact that they need to do things that means that there is some serious underlying issue that is facing China right now. So do press the like button, subscribe, and so this is the DPA news. So do subscribe. This is a separate channel from the main channel. So there's two of these main measures that the Bank of China have done. One is that they cut the reserve requirement ratio by 50 basis point. Basically, this is what the Chinese banks need to do. They need to have cash on hand. They are not allowed to just loan out everything. So they are reducing the amount of cash the banks need to have in order to to increase money to be able to loan out. So another thing is this 7-day repo rate cutting by 0.2 points. Basically, this cutting of the repo rate. So what is repo rate? Repo rate is a somewhat similar to the Federal Reserve interest rate. It's not the same thing. It works differently, but basically, the banks will Chinese bank was basically sell some kind of a bond to the uh, to the to the Chinese government or the Chinese central bank to basically take money, so that which then they need to return. They need to buy back this bond. So basically, it's a way of increase money supply, but the central bank can actually have more control. It's somewhat to me personally, it feels very similar to the Federal Reserve of United States, just that it works in a different mechanism. So, and of course it works very differently. So there is all these things. So I have made a point to check with with AI tools and try to understand some of these issues. And this is a simplified version. So they have this this reduction by 50 points. So this will allow them to inject 1 trillion yuan or $142 billion into the financial system. So this is actually pretty big. But China is a huge country as well. So, but it does definitely help. And then there is this repo rate reduced by 20 points, to 1.5%, which allows the banks to actually provide loans more quickly, or get money from the central bank more quickly, because it's cheaper to get money from the central bank. So there are some other measures, including the property market related stuff, and of course some lending facilities for 1 year medium term. So it's all about pumping money into the economy to help to stimulate growth. So the AI basically wrote like boosting credit growth, which is basically what I understood. They want to support the housing market, and also encourage consumer spending and business investment by making loans cheaper. So generally this has been taken pretty well by the people who are in the finance world, but they're also worried that pumping money also means inflationary problems. So tentatively not yet, but so apparently there is some major issues facing China. Apparently the property market, real estate issues. I did do this video on the real estate issues for a long time ago, maybe 2 years ago, and apparently this real estate problem still exists today. It's still a problem right now, and there is also reducing consumer demand because of poorer economy, more challenging global economic situation. Because, for example, the Europeans are buying less. For example, then which means that there's lesser sales from China to Europe, which also means reduced income, people get sacked. So all this adds up, you see. And there is also high youth unemployment, which is always been a problem, I think, in China, generally speaking, because there's just such a huge population. And there's also threat of deflation. And of course, Donald Trump is looming at the horizon because he's going to become president soon. And it could on the first day of his office start to throw tariff at China. So that is also a massive threat that the Chinese are currently preparing themselves. Probably this is part of the preparations for Trump's ascension to the throne. So all hail the God Emperor. Yeah, one sui one sui. It's the same. It's just like Xi Jinping. They are not all emperors. So and when I scroll down this article by CNBC, there's also you can see some of these other issues that is facing China. I mean, some of the issues facing China, like 10-year government bonds yields is only a record low of 2%. That means they're not very bullish. They're very pessimistic about things, and also they have I think remember seeing like, so the real estate slump and low consumer confidence is a problem. There's also some the head of China fixed income at Aberdeen basically also say that it's not enough. Whatever stimulus that China is doing is still not enough, and the real estate slump is cutting into land sales. And China even did this thing, this white listing thing of real estate projects, which they will pump money to help to complete the project, because a lot of these projects basically died out. Like they took the money and they didn't deliver the house. And China basically have financed 1.43 trillion, $200 billion to allow 4 million homes to be completed. So not built, completed. So these are all real estate projects that they already collected money, pre-sold, but never completed and delivered to the buyers. There's apparently 20 million houses, 20 freaking million, and the Chinese government can only do 4 million for now. And so there is all these bubbles are serious problems, because this all this money have been siphoned out of the economy of China and perhaps even flow overseas. Because many of these magnets or whatnot, or they waste the money away. That's also possible. For example, some of these Evergrande, the biggest real estate property, they actually have this football team called Guangzhou Evergrande, and they pay crazy salaries to the foreigner footballers, and basically all this money, of course, just disappear into overseas. And yeah, this, because when the money is too big, sometimes they just they doesn't feel it. They doesn't feel it. They don't know how to save it. So anyway, these are all serious problems facing China. I personally I think I need to get more into this Chinese situation, because things is going to get very problematic. Previously under Biden, I think I'm not so concerned, because Biden's focus is not on China, and the Ukraine war is generally all helping China, and of course China is also pretty happy to be in the shadows. That like none of those global news headlines is focusing on China, generally speaking. But with the return of Trump, I think China is going to become back on the headlines, back on the front page of newspaper, even though nobody read newspaper anymore. It's all online. But no, this is all going to be like serious global impactful situations that will not just affect everyone. So anyway, so I will definitely follow more on this, especially in terms of finance and economics. I will definitely learn more, report more on these things, and hopefully it will be helpful for everyone. Definitely, I'm a layman, so I will definitely learn more, try to explain it in layman terms that you and I can understand, and hopefully not get drowned by all these jargons, because the finance world is full of very complicated jargons that it's very hard to understand for people who are not in the world. So anyway, thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update.